Hey, good morning, my people. What's up? Hope and trust that all is going good and you had a wonderful and safe weekend. Today is Monday, the 11th day of May, 2026. And the time right now is 9 minutes before the 6 a.m. hour. Now, I'm a man that I like to listen to the little voice in my head, you know what I mean? I believe that's when the Almighty is speaking to you. And this morning, when I got up and I said my prayers and I did my daily word, the idea of the oath came to my mind. The new oath for Antigua and Barbuda. And, we have to be so careful in terms of history. And I believe that as accurate the history as we can have is the better for future generations. Um, from a historical standpoint, I wanted to make a record as to where the new oath, our new oath, as was passed in December 2025, I think, where it came from, so that future generations will know. As far back as 2022, October 2022, Mr. Trevor Walker, the representative from Barbuda, presented before the Parliament a historic first reading of a bill to amend the Oath of Allegiance, or to amend our Oath of Allegiance, as far back as 2022. Apparently, Mr. Walker was working along with ABCRE. I think that's the ABCRE Antigua Barbuda, the constitutional something something in the States. It goes by the acronym ACRE. He was working along with them, or they were working along with him, in relation to changing the oath from swearing to the Queen, now the King, or then the King because the Queen had passed, to swearing it to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. And that was in around October 2022. Initially, the government, I think it passed the first reading. There was something to that. Then, between then and going into the elections that we had in 2023, the government side soured on it. They were for it from the first reading. Then coming to the second reading, they soured on it. And most people who follow the thing believe that it was because of politics, the election upcoming. They didn't want it to appear as if a person or an entity outside of them would have come up with something like this. So it was cold water was poured on it. And then in 2025, December 2025, lo and behold, the Attorney General and the God Cabinet of Antigua and Barbuda had a vision. And it was put back on the table and eventually passed. I put it in green on my backdrop because I believe that green is the color for, what's the name of the party over there? Barbuda's BPM, Barbuda's People's Movement. I think green is their color. And that's why I put it in green because I want the record to show that it came from, or it came into the parliament. It was brought into the parliament by Mr. Walker, representative from Barbuda, BPM. Again, as I said, either he was working along with ABCRE or ABCRE was working along with him. But it made it to parliament. And after some childish behavior, in my opinion, eventually 2 to 3 years after, the new oath was adopted. Um, I'm not sure if Trevor Walker is in Antigua today. That is Monday, the 11th of May. I'm not sure if he is. But if he is, it would be nice that he would have been invited to Government House. I think they're having the swearing in of the senators today. I think it's 1 o'clock this afternoon. it would be nice for him to have been invited if he wasn't, if he's here in Antigua, to be a part of the persons who would be witnessing the swearing in of the senators using the new oath. Well, this was just moved on my mind this morning. If he was here in Antigua when the government side was being when they had the stuff up at AUA, when it was last week, sometime Tuesday, something like that, or Thursday. If he was on Antigua, it would have been nice that he would have been invited because that would have been the first time, if my memory served me correct, that the new oath was being used to swear in representatives. We know that they made a mock of it the first time, and they had to be done over. Well, not last week Tuesday. That would have been when the AG and the PM was sworn in. That would have been on Friday, the Friday following the general election, because I think the general election was on the Thursday, the 30th, right? So the Friday. You know, they made a mock of it then, and then they had to do it over again. But it would have been nice. I'm not sure if he was invited, if the government side had done that, but if they didn't, it would have been nice if it was, and he would have been in the presence of all as the new oath was being administered. But if he hasn't, and if he's on Antigua today, or if he can make it to Antigua today, he might have been coming over. You never know. It would be nice for him to be in attendance. It would have been nice, in my opinion, for him to have been in attendance to witness um the administration of the new oath. I think it was a good thing that, well, not I think, it's obviously a good thing that he had brought forward, or a good thing that Abki had brought forward with him, for us to have this new oath. And for those who don't know it and can't read it, it says, I do swear, for those who swear or solemnly affirm, people like me who don't swear, that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the state of Antigua and Barbuda, its constitution, and the laws. So help me God. Congratulations to you, Mr. Walker and Abcree, because I don't want to leave out Abcree at all. I think the synergy between both of you all have done a good thing. It's not all things I agree with Abcree as it relates to our constitution. But as we come on them, everybody have their opinion. We'll have a discussion, and ultimately, the majority of the people will make the final decision as to how we do certain things. But on this one, I must give Abcree and Mr. Walker their flowers and make a record so that the history will show where it came from, right? Not that you agree with it, and I'm referring now to the Labour Party, not that you agree with it initially, then because of politics is off the table, and then you bring it on the table as if it was yours and your idea. No. Let the record show for future generations how it went. Trevor Walker, BPM/Abcree, supported by the United Progressive Party in the initial stages, and then the government came along thereafter. My people, have a nice day today. Keep safe. For those of you who are attending the swearing in of the senators, do have a good time. I did get an invitation, but no, I have some other matters to deal with today. Thank you to the person who invited me. Let me just put it on record. But in a kind of sense, though, I kind of want to keep my distance from these political parties, you know what I mean? Whether it is ALP or UPP. Because if I bang Labour Party, it will happen. And if I bang UPP, it will happen. So the Lord work in mysterious ways, you know what I mean? But thank you for the invitation. But I do have an engagement to deal with today at the particular court. And trust you me, when you get the dates, you don't want to mess them up because sometimes you wonder when you're going to get them. So congratulations to everybody who will be sworn in today. I think it's going to just be the four. I'm not sure if the leader of the opposition will be sworn in today or just the senators. I'm not sure. But all who are going to be sworn in today, congratulations. And yeah, let's get the ball rolling. Take care, my people. Keep safe.